I took my wife's car for an oil change. Routine, predictable. But when the mechanic, a man I've trusted for 10 years, called me into his office, something in his tone felt wrong. He shut the door, locked it. His hands trembled as he reached into a drawer. "I need to show you something," he said. "All right," I replied, calm, detached. He hesitated. "But you can't go home after." The world tilted slightly then. Not from fear, from curiosity. He placed a small plastic bag on the desk. Inside was a silver flash drive, wrapped in electrical tape, the kind used to seal secrets, not wires. "Found it beneath the spare tire," he said, "taped to the frame." My heart didn't race, it just slowed. He pushed it toward me. I didn't open it. "But you should." I nodded, slid it into my pocket, thanked him, and walked out. The afternoon sun looked different, quieter, dishonest. I didn't drive home. I drove to an empty parking lot behind an abandoned grocery store, sat there in silence. Then I opened my laptop and pressed play. The footage was shaky, recorded from a dashboard camera, hers. I saw the inside of the car, the passenger seat, and him, my neighbor, Daniel. He leaned in, laughing. The way she smiled back wasn't casual, it was muscle memory, intimate. The timestamp was from 2 months ago, the night she told me she was working late. The rest of the footage was muted by the sound of my own pulse, their hands, their lips, her voice saying his name. I closed the laptop, sat there for a long time, staring at the reflection of my face in the dark screen. It was expressionless, as if my features were waiting for permission to feel. I didn't give them any. Instead, I started cataloging. Details, timelines, lies. The late-night inventory checks. The perfume that lingered in the car when she swore she'd taken the train. The sudden distance that had nothing to do with work. It wasn't anger that rose in me. It was precision, like a surgeon before the first cut. For 3 days, I acted normal. Breakfast, small talk, meaningless questions. She kissed my cheek every morning. I let her. Each touch felt like a fingerprint left on a crime scene. At night, I traced patterns of truth in silence. Her phone charger moved positions. Her texts came late. Her laughter, too forced. I started tracking her routes through the car's GPS history. Repetitive addresses. One near the river, one downtown. I visited both. At the downtown spot, I found Daniel's car, parked where hers usually was. A small bakery across the street reflected the truth in its window, their silhouettes through tinted glass. I watched from my car, long enough to see her reach across the table and touch his hand. No confrontation, no words, just observation. When I drove home that night, I finally decided what kind of man I would be. Not the kind who screams, the kind who documents. I ordered a data recovery kit, pulled every file from that flash drive, videos, messages, her voice calling him the only man who makes me feel seen. Strange, I thought. I've spent 10 years seeing her. Maybe too clearly. On the 5th day, I printed everything. Dates, photos, recordings. I placed them neatly in a manila envelope and left it on the kitchen counter before she came home. When she walked in, she smiled, kissed me, opened the fridge. I waited. Then her eyes found the envelope. She froze. "What's this?" "Open it," I said quietly. She did, page by page. Her face collapsed in slow motion. The air between us changed temperature. "I can explain," she whispered. "I know," I said. "I meant I've already heard your explanations in every lie you've ever told." She reached for me, tears gathering too easily. I stepped back. Silence stretched, sharp, sterile. She began to sob, collapsing against the counter. I stood there, unmoved, studying the anatomy of her guilt. The next morning, I called Daniel, asked him to meet me at the cafe near the river. He arrived, nervous, trying to smile. I handed him a second envelope, identical. "Don't worry," I said. "I made copies." He opened it, paled. "Jesus, man. I'm not your man." I turned, walked out before he could speak again. No threats, no noise, just awareness. By the time I got home, her suitcases were gone. So was her car. But the house felt lighter. That night, I sat in the driveway where her car used to be. The oil stain on the concrete still fresh, a faint reminder of what had been hiding beneath the spare tire. I thought about the mechanic's words. You can't go home after. He was right. Home isn't a place. It's a truth you can stand inside. And ours was gone. I didn't feel anger or grief, just clarity, the kind that burns slow and cold. I deleted the files, not to forgive her, but to erase the version of myself that still needed proof. The engine hummed quietly beside me, waiting. I put the car in gear and drove toward nowhere in particular, the only direction that still felt honest.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.